9:45 a.m. 5-5. No, 8-5. Why did I say 5-5? I don't know. 8-5, 2018. Now it's 9:46 a.m. 8-5, 2018. I don't know. I got the timestamp stuff from Jay, so I use it. I think it's cool. I like it. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about again today. Because yeah, I did receive a DNA I.C.U.C. It is incredibly potent. As I backtrack, I've gotten the crank up. I've purchased a sphere. There's my sphere. Books. Book number 2. Book number 1. Okay. So you guys realize, as my screen goes dark, hello. All right. So you guys realize that, yeah, I am a student of Jay's. I do listen to what Jay says, and I am constantly blown away by the level of precision and the level of advancement that I have gone through based on the things that he offers. I mean, the crank up is one thing, the sphere is another thing, the books are quite helpful, but that DNA I.C.U.C. Yeah, wow. I was walking around talking to myself several weeks ago, and I said, you know what, I don't want to make this sound cliche or anything, but I feel like a superhero. I feel like a superhero. And I didn't really like that word. I'm like, but that's all that was popping into my brain. And then a few days later, Jay does a video and talks about Frank Zhu. And I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Z-H-U. And he was talking about how he turned Frank into a mutant with the DNA I.C.U.C. And I went, that's the word that I need. Mutant superhero. Because I feel that I am just on a different level. I'm completely on a different level. Crank up takes you one level, sphere takes you another level, and the DNA I.C.U.C. just blows the roof off the top of everything. It is quite inspiring. It is quite riveting, and it is real. It is real. I was recharging some batteries the other day, and I had some flashlight, larger D-cell or C-cell batteries. And there was a battery that had been sitting next to the charger for months and months and months and months and months. It's just sitting there, dead as a doornail. It's a little tiny A battery that you put in phones and things like that. 2 weeks ago I said, you know what, I don't know, I'm just going to charge it up. I'm going to charge it up. Okay, charged up. It had been sitting there for about a week. Sure enough, what happens last night? What happens last night? The remote control blows out. The batteries go dead in the remote. Oh wow, there's a replacement battery sitting right there, and I've already charged it. And it's ready to go. I didn't know why I was doing it when I was doing it. But lo and behold, I needed it. A few days later, a week later, there it is. Oh, thank you. And I'm doing that all the time now. I call it, what I've called it is living inside out. You do things way before you need to, and you don't know why you're doing them. You're just doing them, and then it turns out to be what you needed. It's a very, very cool thing. What also has happened is I know that I've spoken on videos in the past about looking at things, that Jay teaches how to look at things. With the DNA I.C.U.C, that has really been expanded. And it's quite remarkable. Jay had a blue onyx sphere or a globe that he was showing in a couple videos past. Before he even said anything, I mean, not only was I looking at it, I mean, I went through the monitor and jumped right in the center of that darn thing. I jumped right in the center of it. I mean, I put my energy right in the center of it because it was so inspiring and so uplifting. That is a cool sphere. Then I was already there feeling exactly what it was, and Jay takes a moment, as he always does, pauses, take a look, feel it, okay? I was already there, like that. He did a video, the last video that he did, and I watched it, and I kept feeling, he was into it about 4 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. It was in the very beginning of the video. And I kept seeing or feeling, I'm like, Jay, there's something on your forehead. Jay, there's something on your forehead. There was nothing there. I just felt that there was something there. Literally 10 seconds later, 20 seconds later, as he was talking, he said something made reference to his head. And I went, oh, well, there it is. Living inside out. You get there before it happens. And put it this way, it's something that you cannot put a dollar figure on. You can't put a dollar figure on that. That is, I know that I've heard online, or Jay makes reference to, some of the products are a little pricey. Some people might think they're pricey. My interpretation is, if you're getting something that is, you cannot put a price tag on it, then it's actually cheap. It's actually inexpensive. Like Jay says, it doesn't need any batteries. You can pass it on down to further generations. You don't need to charge it. It's always on, and it works. It works. DNA, I.C.U.C. And you start getting all these crazy thoughts in your head. I mean, I was always a creative person. I was raised around the entertainment business. In entertainment business, Hollywood's very open-minded. You see a lot of crazy things. I mean, nothing is crazy. DNA, I.C.U.C. I mean, that's completely on a whole different level. That's outer space. I mean, that's real. DNA, you start to get these crazy ideas and thoughts. Not crazy. It's just, where did I come up with that? DNA, I.C.U.C. I-C, he uses the letter I, the letter C, the letter U, and then the letter C. I-C-U-C. I see it as I see, like Jay is saying, I can see, S-E-E. I see, now I'm going to make you see, U, S-E-E. I can see, now I'm going to make you see. I don't know, it's just the things that pop in your head. Then the other day, I got this word that just popped in my head. Piezoelectrics. Like, piezoelectrics. What is... And I've learned by now, after the crank up, after the sphere, after the other stones that I purchased, after reading the books, go with it. Go for it. Just like Jay said, just go for it. You're talented. I'm not just speaking me. All of us out there that are into these types of things, we're talented. Okay? We are on a path. Jay is helping us get there. So go for it. Get in there and do it. Have confidence. Even if you get it wrong, it doesn't matter. Just get in there. So thinking, piezoelectrics. So a couple days I just threw it around in my head. Wouldn't get out of my head. So I went and looked it up online. Piezoelectrics is a definition for what Jay is doing. Piezoelectrics is when you have a substance, you have an element, you have a thing. You put an electrical charge into it, and it gets bigger. That's one definition of piezoelectrics. Well, what is Jay doing to my brain? I mean, Jay's on the other side of the United States, and he's putting energy into my brain, okay, making it grow. Piezoelectrics. What, how come, there's no way that could be a coincidence. There's no way. I don't even know the word. It just pops into my head. So things of that nature happen every day. They happen all the time, living inside out. This is my experience with it. I am saying these things because I appreciate Jay. I appreciate what Jay is doing. I would like to allow people, if they're on the fringe, thinking about whether they should do it, they should not do it. Okay, well, maybe my video will help you. Maybe my video will help you out. And maybe it will assist you. That's the reason why I'm doing it. Plus, I think, man to man, Jay is a beautiful person. I love Jay. And I'll say in front of anybody. I mean, adult to adult. I love Jay. I love Jay, everything that he's about, because that guy is real. There's no BS with Jay. There's no animosity with Jay. There's no ego with Jay. He just says it like it is. And I appreciate that. And his products work. They've worked for me. I'd recommend it all day, every day, any day. And one of the things that you guys might not understand, though, is how funny Jay is. I got to know Jay over the last year and a half, and Jay is hilarious. Jay is funny. I mean, I was just cracking jokes. And, you know, because of my entertainment background, I'm into that kind of thing, entertainment, showbiz, jokes, comedian. Okay, I'm pretty sensitive to that. So, you know, I was cracking a joke with him, talking about number 11. Number 11. Got the 11s. 11s. So he comes back, makes another comment. I was in tears. I was absolutely just the funniest thing. It didn't hit me at first. And then I thought about it, and I went, oh, that was funny. That was absolutely funny. Little Tennessee whiskey. 11s. Jay is funny. Jay is funny when you get to know him. He's a comedian. And I like that. You know, the first video that I saw of him, James Rink was interviewing him, and they were talking about some very serious things. Jay's cracking jokes. Which I got. I thought it was funny. I'm like, there is no way that this guy on this serious level who's telling all these jokes could be BSing. There's no way. It's like oil and water. They don't go together. Monitor, stay on. Yeah, piezoelectrics. Give it some piezo. Electric, stay on monitor. My monitor just turned off. Anyhow. Okay, it's probably telling me to switch gears a little bit here because I want to get to a very important part of this video. And that is strictly about the DNA. DNA. Now, Jay expressed to me in the crank up, he says to me, you got a fair amount of Anunnaki DNA in you. Okay, it's the first time I've ever heard that, and it took me about a year and a half to really contemplate that and really analyze it and really look at it. And I was looking at my personality, how I act, what I do, and I was really dwelling on it. And I said, yeah, I do have a lot of Anunnaki DNA, or a fair amount of it, but that's past tense, because I used to act very aggressively, really aggressive. You look at some of the older videos that I did on YouTube. That's reptilian Anunnaki DNA, period. And it took me a while to like snap out of it, but Jay was the instrumentor of getting me to look at it that way. Now, especially after the DNA I.C.U.C, okay, now my DNA's been toned down a couple notches. I can look at it and say, oh wow, I get it. I get it. I can feel it. I can see the difference. Anunnaki, reptilian DNA. I'm not talking about all reptiles. I'm not talking about all Anunnaki. My experience with it is that someone goes to punch me, past tense, years ago, high level Anunnaki DNA, fair amount of Anunnaki DNA, enough to make a notation about. Someone comes up to me and punches me, okay? I'm going to punch him back 20 times. And that's the reptilian mode. That it's a type thing. I get hit, I hit back 20 times. Just keep overloading it. That's the reptilian mindset. Now, okay, after the DNA I.C.U.C, if someone goes to punch me, all I do is move out of the way. Just move out of the way. Someone goes to punch, move. Just move out of the way. Just move. So it's a what I'm trying to express to you guys is that it's such a different way of solving a problem, same problem, but in a different manner. And that's another thing that the DNA I.C.U.C has done. It's just toned me down a little bit. You know, come down a couple of notches. Think a little bit differently. Just very helpful. Very helpful. So if you find yourself in that reptilian mindset, in an Anunnaki pattern where you're retaliatory, or that's the first place your mind goes, then you might want to look into this as getting that level to tone down a little bit. And I'm going to use an example that just happened. Jay just did a video on this. It's perfect timing. I'm so glad that I waited a little bit to do this video because I've got a perfect example. Last video that I did, or put it this way, Jay a couple videos back, there was someone online that was talking trash about Jay, and Jay made a comment about talking to his lawyers and that it was libel and slander or something along those lines. Okay, the reason why I can talk about that is that I was one of the individuals that was named in the video. I was in the title of the video, I was talked about in the video, and if it was a few years back, I would have immediately made another video. Da, 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 da. Punch me once, I'm going to punch you back 20 times, right? What did I do this time? I saw the video, I checked it out, and I said, no, I'm just going to move. I'm just going to move. I'm just going to move. And that's what I did. I just ignored it, which was like just moving out of the way. Same problem, different solution. And I said in the last video also that I did, I said, you know, YouTube deleted a couple of my videos. No big deal. So that's another thing that the DNA I.C.U.C has done. Oh, and sure enough, you know, this individual, you know, Jay handled it. Jay took care of it. And I just moved out of the way. So, oh, yeah, the spirits, sorry. It's another thing I gotta talk about. The level of seeing spirits, seeing color, seeing flashes of light. I just saw one buzz by. That's and it just reminded me. Yeah, and it's another indicator. No, that then I need to add this. The amount of seeing spirits. It's just like Jay says. You're breaking through the veil. You're getting closer to the veil. You're escalating your abilities. That's why you're able to see a lot more. Something to that effect. But I have more of a sensitivity toward that. And you guys know about the extraterrestrials. I've been talking to extraterrestrials for a long time. Spirits I've been talking to. There is a difference between ghosts and spirits, though, in my opinion. Spirits vibrate at a higher level. Ghosts are a little bit lower level. Different levels of consciousness. Spirits, I've seen a lot of spirits. And especially after the DNA I.C.U.C. Yeah. And the ability to talk to those on the other side has increased as well. Big time. I mean, I have conversations with some of my past forefathers. I'm able to go and look at different things very intimately. I could go to any place in the solar system and look at it and tell you what it is. Yeah, that's another thing. And you know, Jay was the instrumentor of that. I remember the first time I heard him when he said, "Go look at it." I was like, what is he talking about? But I tried it, and the DNA I.C.U.C has increased that. And yeah, I just wanted to put this down. I don't want to make this video too long. I don't want to make it like some cult of personality thing. But I do want to express how I honestly feel about Jay. How I honestly feel about the DNA I.C.U.C. Because for the serious student, okay, for the person that's really, you know, pushing the envelope and wants to evolve. And again, just like Jay says, you don't have to do this. You don't have to. But I'm trying to make this video for someone who's, you know, might be on the fence, and this might help them. I'm doing it for assistance, and I'm also doing it because, you know, Jay is a cool individual. Jay is, yeah, thank the universe for Jay. I think about it all the time. Thank the universe for Jay Essex. Yeah, and then I go on Google, and I'm looking at something. Do you know that there's a town called Jay in Essex County, New York? It's another thing that I found. You start going online, you just, I don't know what happens. You're just guided to go places, and you just find things. And I'm going, oh, geez, there's Jay again, cracking jokes. Jay, the town of Jay, so I got to go there one day. All right, timer's running out. I got 2 seconds. Got to end the video. 10:05 a.m. 8/5/2018. Thanks, guys.